London Real, sponsored by Bulletproof Coffee.
Let's talk UFC very quickly. You've got the UFC, you've got Dana White, the Fertitta brothers. These guys drop the phrase global domination on a regular basis. These guys are very motivated. They want to be the best. They want to build the best business. And when it comes to a product like UFC Fit, they obviously think a lot of you to have you being the face of that product, you know? And I was just wondering, what is it like to work with guys like that? And did it take some time before they were willing to, basically have you represent their brand?
I mean, being around guys like Dana White, Lorenzo Fertitta, Frank Fertitta, and the executive branch inside the UFC is amazing. It's like being in Harvard Business School. To be exposed to those men and what they've done in the sport and what they're continuing to do, just their broad vision and their ability to function and operate their company at such a global scale, yet remain so small as a very close-knit family mom and pop shop, has taught me so much personally about business, but also about the sport of MMA, and really expanded my mind and my horizons as what is possible on a global platform. And then through UFC Fit, being tapped as the guy to head of UFC Fit, to create UFC Fit, to be the face of UFC Fit, the ambassador for UFC Fit from guys like Lorenzo and Dana. I don't know if there's a bigger honor I could have ever received in my career. And I think that might be the crowning achievement of my career, maybe forever. I might not really personally feel more accomplished than getting that phone call and them saying, "You're the guy, you're the only guy we trust." And I said, well, the conversation, goes a little bit longer, but I said, listen, I build the nutrition program. It's already built in my head. The strength and conditioning, the periodization program, the 12-week training system, done. I can do that right now. It's what I've done my entire life. Being the guy, the on-camera coach, I said, that's not me. I'm a behind-the-scenes guy. I'm a credible coach. This is my dream, and this is who I want to be. I'm not a fitness personality. I'm not a celebrity trainer. I'm not a TV dude. I'm not a spiky-haired, look at my abs, fake tan kind of guy. I said, I can't do that, guys. I don't think I'm right for this. And they said, wrong, Dolce, that you're exactly right for this because of that. You are the real deal. We've seen you doing this for the last decade on our scale, on our stage, with our athletes, our most vital commodity. We've seen you bring to the scale and put on career-defining performances. You're the only guy that can do this. And if this didn't come directly from them, it came from one of the executives. They said, listen, if you don't do this, if you don't sign on the line, they're pulling the plug on this entire project. It's either going to be you or it's not happening at all. There was a multi-million-dollar investment into this project at this point. And to hear that all of this was riding on me signing on the line means that they had so much belief in me and faith in me, which I think really propelled me to do even more, to take this so seriously and put all my might and passion into it. And Don Gold, the executive vice president of entertainment for the UFC, he was my main contact with UFC, and he was the visionary behind what UFC Fit could be. And when we had this conversation, he said, man, it's you or it's nobody. They know every
That's a powerful statement.
man, I was blown away.
This is a huge brand,
It's the biggest brand in the world. I mean, it's just massive, especially in my world. There's nothing. I don't follow baseball or football or any other sport anymore. I don't know who the famous celebrity is or what shows on TV. All I know is UFC. I live and breathe UFC and MMA. So when I heard this, I mean, I look up to, at this point, Dana and Lorenzo. I mean, they're, my idols. They're my benefactors. They're the men that created the industry in which I'm able to provide for my family. So, I mean, I'm utterly thankful just even in getting the phone call that I was even considered to be the guy. But to find out that I was the only guy on their list to go ahead and do this, man, it was mind-blowing. So that's, what I took the creation of UFC Fit so seriously, and I continue to do so, that when I sat down with them, and I didn't even realize it, but Don tells this story that I didn't ask. The topic of money and contract didn't even come up for months after I'd already handed in most of my intellectual property, my IP. I'd already created everything for them and already handed in. They already took it and owned it. I didn't ask for a single dime. And again, talk about my business acumen, because I don't care about that. What I knew is I had the trust and faith of these guys, these high-level professionals, to do something, to build this for them, but not just for them, but for the community, for the world. And part of the initial conversation was, guys, I don't want to be P90X. I don't want to be Insanity. I don't want to be one of these fake fitness programs. If we're going to do this, it has to be real and it has to be in my voice. I'm not going to sell out, and I'm not going to do this made-for-TV, watered-down program. If we're going to do this, just like in my books and all the other things that I do, I'm doing this to help people. Of course, I'm doing it out of respect for the UFC and the company, but we have to help people. That's the only way I'm in this. And they said that is exactly why, again, it's you and what we want to do. They want to change the game. They want to change the world. They want to change the sport. And that's what we're able to do with UFC Fit. And man, I'm super excited. Now it's just starting to grow. The release is just happening right now. It's just starting to begin.
On your podcast, you said to Brandy, she brought up CrossFit and UFC Fit, and you said something like CrossFit is for your blue belt, I think you said, and UFC Fit is for your black belt.
Exactly.
And I was like, oh shit, Mike didn't just say that.
I did say that. And CrossFit I don't want to bash CrossFit, because I like a lot of things about CrossFit. I like the community aspect of CrossFit. I like the fact that they're trying to get people more healthy and more fit. What I don't like is the BS daily WODs, workout of the day, and the fact that myself, my wife, and my mother can walk into a CrossFit box gym and be doing the same exact workout on the same exact day. That's BS. It's bunk. There's a lot of, sexy, fad, flashy inside those brands. And maybe that's the way the company has to be built in order to monetize and make money and keep cash flow rolling in and stay relevant. Maybe that's what they have to do, but that's not the right way to do it. There is not a scientific structure behind that program, unfortunately. There's good intent, I believe, but the follow-through certainly now is extremely watered down and pales in comparison to what we're trying to do with UFC Fit. With